and the final. So let's head out back down to the floor where Guillaume Matignon and Brad Nelson are preparing for their game 2, the second and last game of Standard for now. The players are looking at opening hands. And BDM, what do you think about sideboarding wise? What kind of things are we looking at here?
I think that you're going to see Brad bringing in, like I said, more of his mana control. So he's going to try to Ratchet Bomb and possibly even Divine Offering cards. Guillaume. Oh, we see a Spell Pierce on a Preordain, as giving Jonathan Randall horrible flashbacks.
I was just going to say, Randall wouldn't have liked that.
And then we see a sideboard Ratchet Bomb on turn 2 from Brad, which lets him. What he really wants to do is he wants to have Guillaume operating on very tight mana, so that Brad's counterspells, which are very much mana dependent counterspells like Spell Pierce and Mana Leak, are going to matter. So there's a Sphere of the Sun for Guillaume.
And so Brad puts 1 on the Ratchet Bomb, end of turn. Ratchet Bomb's a card that, to start with, kind of struggled to find a home, but as gradually people have worked out,
I think it's one of the breakout cards of this weekend.
Another Preordain from Matignon.
Before playing a land.
And that is going to meet a Mana Leak. Old style Tempest Mana Leak.
Does Brad have the right read? Block. Does he have another land?
So there goes a counter off the Sphere of the Suns. There's Everflowing Chalice for 1. No land, as you say, BDM, from Matignon.
So he can Stone Rain him here with the Ratchet Bomb, even though it costs 2 to play the Everflowing Chalice. You can only get 1 of these with the Ratchet Bomb. The Everflowing Chalice converted mana cost is still 0.
Those basic land that Brad's using, I saw them everywhere yesterday. It seems like now at Pro Tours, everyone brings their very favourite set of basic land to be in their deck.
Guillaume Wafatapa has forced everyone to up their game.
Yeah.
He really has. I mean, you saw a lot more people foiling their decks this weekend.
Indeed.
And it's definitely the Wafatapa effect. They're Wafo topping off their decks. Wafo top decking?
Oh, stop. Please. I can't stand puns. Squadron Hawk from Brad. I'll go and get the full set. Louis Scott Vargas against Camille Cornelison down the stretch yesterday. Camille cast Squadron Hawk, went and got 2, and LSV went, oh, so you've got the 4th in hand. And Camille's like, no, I got the 4th in my sideboard, actually.
That was the cargo deck you did a deck tech on.
That's right.
Got a great tweet from someone. I pushed a link to the deck list page, which you can see. You can see the decks. These guys are playing the deck techs for the 2 decks with these 2 gentlemen in the deck techs. You can also see their sealed deck pools. Oh, there's a Tezzeret Agent of Bolus, but it is also
isn't a Tezzeret Agent of Bolus.
It is pierced. So this game is going according to plan for Brad. And he said, yeah, oh, I saw those decks at my Friday Night Magic last night.
That's super.
No, it was just a regular Friday Night Magic.
Oh, it wasn't Super F, no, that was here, of course. Yeah. I dread to think how many 100 players we had at Super F&M here at Magic Weekend. It was many. Last time we were in Paris, the 2006 World Championships, players out of the doors, and it's been pretty similar here. Way over 2,000 people for the Grand Prix that is starting this morning.
Brad's taking his time here and thinking.
An undervalued skill, I found.
I always like Godinez Vidageris's approach, which is something he picked up from when he was playing chess.
All right.
Which is sit on your hands so you don't make a move too quickly. So you don't reflexively make a move. If you're sitting on your hands, you're actually forced to think about what you're doing.
Am I ready to wring my hands out now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also keeps your hands warm.
A win-win.
Yeah. So I wonder if Brad's thinking about using the Ratchet Bomb as a Stone Rain here.
Well, that's 2 turns now we've seen Matignon without the 3rd land.
We don't know if Brad has a 4th land.
So there's the first hit in the red zone. Squadron Hawk number 1 comes in.
Any sense of how Guillaume Matignon, I know you were talking to him before the match, any sense of how he was going to sideboard for this game? I imagine he's bringing in maybe his 2 Stoic rebuttals. Okay, so
Yeah.
Ratchet Bomb, and then a Divine
Offering.
I will happily gain 0.
Yeah, you had 4 mana, now you have 2.
And there's a Prophetic Prism, that's fine.
Get a draw. Is it a land?
It
is.
Creeping Tar Pit.
So that's a pretty decent recovery. And for 4 mana,
It can only be Mr. TMS.
Jace the Mind Sculptor. So what do you do here, knowing that Matignon's light on land? You just brainstorm?
You brainstorm.
You don't get straight into Fate Seal mode?
No, I mean he's got some operating mana at this point.
Okay. Back we go to the world champion. And Creeping Tar Pit goes, let's kill Jace. So, Planeswalkers have not lasted long here in Game 2, 1 in either graveyard.
That's
Squadron Hawk. Go get. Now I've got a little room in my hand.
Remember, because he brainstormed 1 down with Jace. Because we saw him get the full set earlier.
Yeah. How important are Tectonic edges likely to be in this? You see one at the bottom.
I mean,
of the
I think when you're
right.
playing against a 3-color deck, they could be pretty relevant.
Celestial Colonnade ends Nelson's turn with Mana Leak. Mana up.
I mean, certainly look right now at the the Creeping Tar Pit, which is really limiting Brad's ability to play another Jace. So he wants to get rid of that.
Preordained resolves for Matignon.
Yeah, I think we're past the point in the game where you're going to counter preordains.
Yeah. He's a very formal player, Matignon, though. He will always...
Yep, there's a second
Is this
Tar Pit.
okay? Back we go.
Brad's thinking.
It's incredible to think that 18 months ago no one outside the online world had heard of Brad Nelson. His first Pro Tour was Pro Tour Honolulu. Astonishing.
Oh, yeah, I still remember in the days leading up to that event, doing research for my column that week, and it's like, wow, look at these results. This FF Freak person seems to have won a lot of block constructed events. It's like, oh well, I wonder, and I remember just even thinking to myself, oh, I wonder if he's qualified for Honolulu, and then as it turns out, we gave him a feature match round 1.
He played Luis Scott Vargas round 1 and lost. And that was one of his 4 losses on the weekend, I think. 12-4 and finished 9th.
Yeah, a pretty auspicious debut.
In comes the Hawk. Matignon to 18.
Yep.
And the edge does its work.
Right. Well, he also knows that there are no mana leaks in Guillaume's deck. Right. His counter spells are
The Stoic Rebuttals.
the Stoic Rebuttal. So maybe if he wants to play, say, another Jace here, he knows it is going to resolve. But instead, he's going to just play another Hawk.
Five cards for Matignon, 4 for Nelson right now. There's a Tectonic Edge for Matignon. Pyroclasm? Sure. In a way, it feels like the Pyroclasms are kind of good for Brad in the sense that the Squadron Hawks aren't that big a deal, but Matignon has to respect them and have the Pyroclasms, and so when you Pyroclasm, it's like, yeah, okay, that's fine.
Right. Brad described a lot of the cards in Guillaume's deck as being air.
Yeah.
You know, like Prophetic Prism and, you know, Pyroclasm's fine, but, you know, it's really just a 1-for-1 removal spell. I've only played one card.
That's right.
Right? I played my one Squadron Hawk, and I've got all my other Squadron Hawks. I play my, if you get my Stoneforge Mystic, that's fine.
Because I already turned it into
I've already turned it
equipment.
into a sword. You know, I mean, these guys are perfectly happy putting their sword on a Celestial Colonnade and then untapping all their lands afterwards.
Indeed. So we've seen some Jace, we've seen some Tezzeret. We have yet to see Gideon Jura.
Gideon, that's the Planeswalker that Brad Nelson listed as his favorite Planeswalker in the tail of the tape that we did.
Uh-huh.
It's Jace, which is Stoic Rebuttaled.
Two cards for Matignon. Once again, Brad has Mana Leak open.
Two Creeping Tar Pits for...
I believe it is.
And one in the yard, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And there is Mana Leak from Brad, so Jace will get there, prompting Matignon to have a good look at Nelson's graveyard.
And this time he puts the die straight up to 5.
Yeah. Let's have a look. And although Matignon has 2 Creeping Tar Pits, cannot get them both in. I'm going to have a look at the top card of your library. Oh, it's such a miserable feeling being fate sealed by Jace. It's one of the rare times in Magic where you really want something good to be put to the bottom. Because when they leave it there, it's just, oh
Yeah.
good. Oh really? Thanks. Zero Matignon. Best of 7. If you're just joining us, welcome along wherever you are around the world. In North America, hoping to see the first North American to lift the Player of the Year trophy for a long time. Welcome.
Or the first French player to lift it in a long time. It's been 2004.
Gabriel Nassif.
All right.
So one of the tar pits piles into Jace. And unlike Game 1, which was a blistering Matignon victory,
Yeah,
this is getting
one's
pretty
been
attritional.
A little more of a slog. Guillaume's down to 2 cards. Brad's got a fistful, but he's got to put 2 back. He would love to find a Tectonic Edge here.
Yeah.
There's...
There is Gideon.
But I think we have another Stoic Rebuttal coming here.
It seems likely, as Matignon says,
No.
Let's, yeah. Or no, as they say in France.
Is there another Spell Pierce or...
Mana Leak for Brad. Nope. Gideon, or certainly not that he wants to fight over. Gideon goes to the graveyard.
Well, it's actually only 2 Mana Leaks in Brad's deck. And I think we've seen both of them.
So back we go to Matignon. Just confirming the point of loss from the sacrificed land. And you are indeed correct, BDM, as Brad conveniently fans out his graveyard and we catch the glimpse of those 2 old school Mana Leaks. It's really nice when reprints are about more than just the nostalgia, when they have nostalgia and you remember that they were good and then it turns out they're still good. That's very exciting.
Unlike Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt ended up being such a disappointment when they reprinted it.
Yeah.
Had no impact at all.
No home.
Yeah. I think preordained from Brad, choosing not to get his colonnades on here, or his colonnade. Where does he have? Oh, he has a second. Here comes the sword. Oh,
Stoic
third
Rebuttal.
Stoic Rebuttal.
Because Matignon went up to 4 after boarding. I'll attack for 1. And so far in this game, every time Brad's had a threat, Matignon's had an answer, either on board with the Creeping Tar Pit or in hand with the Stoic Rebuttals. Draw a card off Prophetic Prism.
I mean, it's not like Brad didn't know that the Creeping Tar Pit was there. I mean, he's obviously trading, like saying, I want you to, use up your time and resources dealing with my Jace while I get some advantage from it.
Absolutely. For 5, activate the colonnade, fly in for 5. But Matignon's going to go to 14, and then he's going to crack his Tectonic Edge. So Celestial Colonnade number 1 bites the dust for Brad, so it will be just 1 point of damage through with Squadron Hawk. Have we kind of reached the point where, now that they're down to so few cards, we're just in a race? Celestial Colonnade plus Squadron Hawk against Creeping Tar Pits?
That race is... Oh, there's a Tumble Magnet.
Limited All-Star and Magic Weekend Paris Standard All-Star.
Yeah.
Divine Offering.
And a little life for Brad, in that race.
Mm-hmm.
Brad leans back, 1 card in hand. He just drew.
So no more Tectonic Edges currently for Matignon. None for Nelson either. So the Tar Pits and the Celestial Colonnades are currently unfettered by the thread of edginess.
Oh.
Stoneforge Mystic from
Sword
the
off the top.
Yes.
Yeah. And Matignon's like, yes.
After saying no all game long, he says yes here.
Yeah.
As that's sort of Body of Mind.
It is indeed.
Which also came in out of the sideboard.
Make a Green Wolf, mill you for 10.
I got 10.
No, I can do 3. Not a small matter.
Oh, the color is correct. 10 cards. You guys got wolves?
That'll be the 10. That's not something you hear every day in conversation. Do you guys have wolves?
Of course they have wolves.
Yep. Yeah, there's a travelling trunk that goes round with the Pro Tour.
See an Argent
With,
Sphinx
tokens
in those
galore.
cards. It looks like Guillaume brought in an Argent Sphinx for this matchup.
Mm-hmm. Just 1 out of the board. Interesting to know whether he decided gravitational shift was worth a punt. Like flyers get -2. Oh, it's +2, isn't it, for flyers? Yeah, not a good
Yeah,
plan.
I'm almost certain he didn't bring in
Other
the
way
gravitational
around,
shift.
yeah.
Although I wonder if he considered the spreading seas just for dealing with tectonic edges, dealing with the manlands.
I believe you see the next generation of pro player card on the table. Hey, look, it's me.
Kill you.
Pyroclasm. Creeping Tar Pit comes in.
I believe Brad has regeneration here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Activate Colonnade, Cert Mash. And after that, War of Attrition. Guillaume is right down. Here goes another 10 away. Just so I can see whether you sideboarded anything else as another 10 go by.
Yeah. And the last Stoic Rebuttal just went by the wayside.
Uh-huh.
I don't think those are the type of cards Guillaume's looking for at this point.
Are we heading for limited?
Well, we're certainly heading for limited. He's like, okay, now my token will take the sword.
I believe Guillaume has Tezzeret, and that is 1-1.
That was great. You saw the hood of Pro Tour Photographer's Craig Gibson's camera poke in there, and it had the Team Brad, Team Guillaume stickers on the hood.
Now, be honest. Have you got